Hello, Chris Krantz with HTK Beekeeping Supply in Frederick, Maryland. I wanted to post a really quick video about our finger jointed boxes. So there's been some confusion about how they go together. So I just wanted to lay some of the creative ways to do this to rest. Always have the right tools. You definitely want a good solid rubber mallet. You definitely want a square, and Tight Bond 2 is the minimum quality glue that I would use. I wouldn't use the Tight Bond 1 or the standard Tight Bond because it doesn't have the exterior application qualifications, so there is no water resistance, whereas this glue has really good water resistance. So basically you have a front and a back and two sides. Always start with one of your fronts face down on a solid table, and you always put glue on each finger. I recommend using a good dab that's maybe about a little over 1/4 of an inch in diameter and about 1/8 of an inch tall. You definitely don't want to put too much glue, as you'll have a mess when you go to put everything together, because the finger joints, the finger and the joints will displace that glue. So you want to have as much, you want to have as little so as it doesn't go out the side and create a big mess. So you take your side piece and you want to line it up flush with the outside. Now these joints will not just push together, they take some good hammering. So definitely take a couple hits to it. You'll see it basically slides right in. Sometimes you just have to give it an extra hit. So here we're going to take our other side, set it in place. Again, you'll notice that no matter what I do to this, I cannot push these together. They have to be hammered. That's where your strength comes from. Alright, so that side's in. So now we got our two sides and a front. So we take our last piece and we do the same thing. We lay it down, put your dabs of glue on, and you flip this over and you set it down. Make it flush. Hit your two sides down. Make it flush. Hit your sides down. You want to just look from the inside. If you see any major gaps, you know that you need to hammer it down. Like this one here, you can see there's a little bit of extra gapping. Just a nice little tap with it should get it in. Alright, next thing you want to do is set it flat, grab your square, and just make sure it's square. We're off just a little bit at the top, so just going to hammer it over. Alrighty, so now we're done. What I recommend doing is, if you're going to put together more than one, set it down next to you. Make sure the bottom one is perfectly square, and then when you set it down, you have something to go off. So when you put your next piece on, when you move it over, in case you grabbed it and it came out of square, you'll know by setting it on the bottom one. The big difference between our finger joints and some of the other manufacturers, is the friction between the fingers and the joints. Some of them you can slide right together with zero friction, but the problem with those is that they're not strong. So if this was one of those boxes and I haven't had any nails or glue on it yet, you can literally take the box and push it this way and this way, and it just slides all over the place. So you're really relying on the glue and the fasteners, the nails, to hold it together. Whereas this box, if we just glued it, and with the strength of the finger joints, that's all you really need. But I always do recommend adding that extra bit of strength by putting some nails in it. Minimum size nail would be about 1.5 inches long is what I would recommend as the minimum. Always use a galvanized or stainless steel nail or staple. We use heavy duty 1/2 inch crown staples for our assembly, and you can also use a finishing nailer. You definitely want to get something that's got some good length to it. If you're going to use that small of a nail, definitely want to go with more towards 1 3/4 inches to maybe even a 2-inch nail. So, well, if there's any questions, you can always visit us online at www.htkbsupply.com and click on the Contact Us link. Shoot us an email and we'll be able to answer anything for you. Thanks for watching.